If you're a heating and air conditioning technician or even a salesperson, will AI take over ride-alongs and sales training, and why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Bell, coming to you live from Sacramento, California, on a perfect day to talk about sales and business, and a fantastic day to talk about you on HVAC Technicians Sales Secrets. Okay, so AI, artificial intelligence, is the rage right now, and it's still in the learning phase in a lot of situations. So right now, all the information that's going into sales training, AI apps, and all the things that go along with it are the base level of information. So if you say, hey, Scott, can AI take over sales training or even sales ride-alongs today? I'm going to say not right now. I'm going to say all this information is base information that is being given to the machines to gather intel, to discover, to learn, only to regurgitate information back, but there's some inherent flaws, okay? So I'm going to walk through a couple of pieces of information with you, and I have to introduce you to a term called sales profile, okay? So each step that we take is going to be a sales profile, and I'll go over this with you in a second. We are going to 80-20 sales. We are going to use some math. You may need to watch this a couple of times. The Pareto principle says that in any given pool of people, the top 20% are the people who take the most action and close the most deals in the world of sales. The bottom 80% is going to do less deals. They're going to struggle. Okay, so we're going to label the first level sales profile 1. That's notated right here. So a pool of 100 salespeople, 80 of them need help. They're not that good. They're struggling. They're on their way up, right? They're on the path. They're just not what we would consider a closer. And then 20% of the population is the group of salespeople making a deal. To put it another way, you have 10 salespeople in the room. 2 of them are the ones that are closing the most amount of deals and are the most profitable, hopefully, okay? So we're going to go down to sales profile 2. We're going to take that pool of 20 salespeople and we're going to 80-20 it again. So we're going to get 16 salespeople. And then right here, the number 4 is really what you would consider a closer. When somebody goes, I'm a closer, right? If you're not in the top 4% of the world of sales, you're not a closer, right? We have to go all the way to sales profile 2 for somebody to say that they're a closer. So 4 people out of 100 are a freaking closer, okay? So what you're going to find is almost all sales training, almost all information given to salespeople is based upon getting you into the top 16. Sales profile 2, the 16 people, right? Because somebody who's in the stage of being a closer really doesn't need coaching, really doesn't need training, really doesn't need help. They are freaking amazing at what they do. Now, here's the thing. If you want to be better at sales, you want to be good at what you do, you should absolutely join my email publication. Go to this URL, type it into a browser, drop in your name, your email address, maybe your phone number. I'll give you the goods. Not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel. Private coaching, private training, discounted coaching, discounted training, and occasionally I'll try to sell you stuff so I can pay for my Aloha shirts and my quarterly trips to Hawaii, okay? So let's go down to sales profile number 3. This is what sales profile number 2, 4 people out of 100 is what you aim to achieve. Sales profile 3 is the most misunderstood in the world of sales, okay? Each one of these profiles has a personality type, has a type of person, has interactions, and as we go down, it is counterintuitive when we get to this person right here, okay? So of the 4 closers in 100, 0.8 of them are like 1 out of 100. The 1 out of 100 dude, okay? But if you look at it differently, there's 8 people out of 1,000. 8 people out of 1,000 that are truly deal makers or rainmakers when it comes to closing deals. I could think of a dude named Randy. I could think of a dude named Mitch. I could think of a dude named Brad. Like, you are talking the top of the industry that this person can go in and close a deal. Now, most sales training, remember, is for this group of people right here to get you to here. This group of people are going to be completely different than this group of people 100%. They're going to be probably quiet, reserved, or socially awkward, or hyper. There's no real way for me to go, hey, let me give you the makeup of this dude right here in sales profile number 3. Because most sales training is not aimed at this guy. Most sales training is not aimed at that guy or this girl, right? When I say guy or girl, I mean it interchangeably because there's some women in the field that can close freaking deals. Sales training isn't for this group of people. Sales training is for the group of this people to get you into position number 16. And you're like, hey, Scott, what does this have to do with AI? Unless whoever's programming that AI understands that they're going to get that group of 16 out of 100, or that group of 160 out of 1,000, you're not really going to be able to train, in my mind, for the 0.8. Because they don't meet the tests. They don't meet the qualifications of what you would need as a salesperson. I can think of a couple of these people that are the most phenomenal closers that I've ever met in my life, and they don't act like what you would consider a traditional salesperson. So, at some point, AI will catch up to this. At some point, AI will catch on and really target in on the 0.8. But for right now, AI is trying to get you from being in this 80th percentile or this group of 80 people and trying to get you into the 16 out of 100 to close. And if you're like, hey, Scott, what does it take to get there? It takes role play. It takes practice. It takes coaching. It takes being wrong. It takes initiative. It takes you wanting to learn. It takes you having the ability to say, I don't know what I'm talking about. It has the ability for you to say, I think that sales is this, but it's really this. It takes you listening, learning how to ask questions, learning how to tell stories. There is a lot that goes into sales. It's not just asking questions and memorizing a script. You can get away with that in the beginning, right? You can absolutely get away with that in the beginning. It'll put you in the top 20%. And that'll put you in sales profile number 1, top of the list. But to get into sales profile number 2, or even 3, you're going to have to put in the work and the effort. Now, here's the thing that's confusing. You may meet people who are naturally talented, where they are charismatic, where they can tell stories, where they have no fear of people. And it confuses you because you're like, why can't I do that? Sales is complex. It's not easy. If you're in the top 20%, don't get me wrong, I freaking applaud you all day long. High five, thumbs up, shaka sign, whatever it takes to say that you're all the way up here, or even rah. But if you really want to get good at sales, you really want to close deals, what you need to find is this unicorn. This unicorn right here is what I'm going to label the 0.8 people out of the world of sales. And they're out there. There are salespeople who absolutely are phenomenal at what they do. They're silent killers in the trade, because when you meet them, you're like, that's not a freaking traditional salesperson. I don't understand. I don't see how they make deals. I think of Randy. I think of Mitch. I think of Brett or Brad, right? I think of these people and I'm like, there's a whole list of them, don't get me wrong, okay? There's tons of closers, like my mentor, Roland Frazier, right? That 0.8 unicorn, that dude's in there. He's not a traditional salesperson. I hung out with him 2 days ago. Having conversations with him is not like what you would think. That person that is the deal maker is really what you need to look for and to achieve. But as it is right now, I do not believe that AI can get you there, because AI is primed and trained right now to be this dude, to try to help you to be this dude or chick from 16 to 4, okay? Hopefully that helps. You got 1 of 3 things to do from here. Kind of a complex idea or concept. But look, here's the thing. Whatever way, there's a movie called Moneyball. And in Moneyball, there was a mathematical equation that got the A's into the World Series, and it's whatever gets you on base. If it's role play that gets you on base and closes deal, fantastic. If it's ride-alongs, fantastic. If it's storytelling, fantastic. If it's improv, fantastic. Whatever gets you on base, awesome. But here's the thing. At some point, you're going to get the skills, the talents, and the capabilities, and it's going to be the things outside of the world of sales that get you to where you need to be, not the things that are in sales. You got 1 of 3 things to do from here. Just 1 of 3. Find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.